is up? What is up? What is up, my YouTube peeps? Hello, hello, hello. It is awesome to see you tonight. I hope you brought your questions and your fun, or at least your questions, whichever one. That works for me. Either way, I am super excited to be hanging out with you guys tonight. We're going to have some fun, or we're at least going to try to have some fun. We've got Love to Wander in the house. Hello, Big O Tunes from the Philippines. Early in the morning on a Sunday over there. Scott Hampton, hello, hello in sunny California. It's friggin' just as hot here right now in Pennsylvania. I can tell you that right now. Lots of humidity going on here. Not as much fun, probably. Saved by my sins, good evening, good evening. It is awesome to see you. Big O Tunes, I think I mentioned you already. Hugh Events, hello, 1 a.m. here in Ireland. Awesome. Get Reviews, hello, hello. Awesome to see everyone tonight. If you have any questions, you can text them in the chat, just at Monica. She'll chat right here in the chat to let you know where to at. So if you want to ask a question, she'll aggregate those questions and give it to me. And if Tech Examine comes in later, he could take the questions as well. Oh, man. So many awesome folks in. Garrett Reviews. Giorgio. Hello. Hello. Mr. Johnny25. Greetings from London. Oh, man, that's awesome. Doc Murdoch. Hello. Mexico with thunderstorms and lightning. Oh, New Mexico. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe it might have been the old Mexico, but no. It's the new one. Good to know. WEVM, hello. Charles Stern, hello. RW, I am here. I think I even read that right the first time. Hello. Did you say hi in the chat, honey, so they know who to at with their questions? No, she's just over here having fun. TS7 Gaming, hello. TS7 Gaming wants to know how to make a stinger transition. Red Blue Talk, good evening. I am proficient with using OBS with Zoom. Well, that is really good, because I'm telling you right now, if you get anywhere near decent, you're in good shape. So you want to make a stinger transition? I actually have a video that tells you exactly how to make a stinger transition. I did a couple of videos on stinger transitions and how to make them, but I did a live stream that I actually walked through the whole thing. So let me see if I can find that, and I will post that in the chat so you can go and take a look at that. But it's pretty easy. I used free software called Pixlr to make my stingers, and then I import those particular files into an editing software. I think I used After Effects, but you can use free software like DaVinci Resolve or something like that. And all I have to do is actually find the video, which would be nice. Live stream overlays. Blah, blah, blah. So how is everybody doing on this fine Saturday? I notice we've got lots of people here from lots of different places. I think that's awesome. I really do. It's so cool to have so many people watching from so many different places all around the world. It's fantastic. And I cannot find, oh, you know what? I know why I can't find it. Because it aggregates them differently if it's a live stream. So let's see, Q&A, build a custom, here it is. Here, that's not, no, oh man. Q&A live profile, build a custom stinger. There it is. There it is. So here is the link to build a custom stinger. Right here. Right here. You getting replies, honey? Are they atting you with your questions? So TS7, if you check that video out right there, it's going to tell you exactly how to make a custom stinger using free software. I use Premiere Pro for the second half of it, but you can use DaVinci Resolve, which is totally free, to do the same things. The same things. Let's go to the Monica cam, because I believe she might actually have a question here. Here we go. Just be nice, okay? She looks amazing today.
Stop. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Question. This is a follow-up question also from TS7 Gaming. He says, how can I get a smooth stream on Streamlabs Mac because it lags?
Oh, I see. TS7. So if you're using a Macintosh, and especially if you're using an older Mac, I recommend using OBS if you can. The reason why, and I'm not saying Streamlabs is bad. I don't think it's bad. Streamlabs has a lot of cool things, including widgets that are going to show up on this screen and do all kinds of fun stuff. I love Streamlabs. I use all of their stuff. But on an older Mac, basically what Streamlabs does is it takes OBS and it uses the OBS code and puts a nice pretty bow around it and integrates all their stuff into it. But everything you can do in Streamlabs OBS, you can do in OBS. So really all you get when you use OBS is what you get when you use Streamlabs OBS is basically a slower running version of OBS, should we say. Like, it just adds more code to the mix that doesn't need to be there. So if you're struggling to get Streamlabs OBS to run properly on your Mac and to give you a smooth stream, I would try using OBS. And then if you're still struggling, I did a video on how to identify what is causing your problems. Now, you can use all of these tools and stuff that I'm showing you in this video to kind of figure out why your machine is not functioning as well as you want it to in OBS. And you can take all those settings into Streamlabs OBS if you wanted to. But like I said, if your machine is already struggling to pull off a quality live stream, you probably want to use the lightest platform that you can get, and OBS is probably that platform. The other platform I would suggest that maybe you take a look at would be Ecamm. Ecamm gives you a lot of the flexibility of the things that you can use in Streamlabs OBS and OBS, but it doesn't have, it's basically specifically written for Mac, so it can be a little bit easier on your Mac if you wanted to try something. But I would troubleshoot your stream, and I would use this video right here to do it, and it's going to walk you through every step of how to identify exactly what's causing your laggy frames and your laggy stream. And once you know what's causing it, then you can decide what you want to do. If your machine's not powerful enough, then you can switch to OBS. If your machine is not powerful enough, you could switch to Ecamm. Or there are a couple of suggestions in there as to different settings that you can choose that can help you to solve the problem. Like, you could switch to 720. You can scale down your overlays and all that sort of stuff. So S7, hopefully that answers your question. Let's go to the wonderful and beautiful, most amazing sandwich maker on earth with the Monica question cam.
Well, after that lead up, I do have to mention a comment that Moss put in here. He wrote to me and he said, do you cut your sandwiches straight or diagonally? Do they taste better if cut diagonally? Because I think it does. When I cut them, and I don't always do, I do cut them straight, not the diagonal way. So whichever makes it taste better is the way I would go for you. Hopefully that works.
Yes.
Your sandwich questions answered. There is another follow-up from TS7 Gaming. He just said, how can I see my chat on OBS? And I don't know if you addressed that in your other comments before I get into everybody else's.
All right. TS7 Gaming. How can you see the chat? I'm assuming that you mean like right over here where I have the chat on the screen. That is actually Streamlabs widget. So let me switch over here to my tutorial screen real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to bring up my Streamlabs dashboard here so you can see that. And let me make sure everything, okay. So this is my Streamlabs dashboard. We're going to go into all widgets and we're going to go to our chat box right here. And you go into your chat box and it's going to tell you, you can set it up any way you want. I probably use the standard one because I'm lame, you know, but you can use whatever one you want. When you get the one you want, you just copy out this link right here. You see it says widget URL copied. Then you can go into your, in my case, I use OBS. I click plus, I'm going to go to browser source. Right there, just browser. And we'll put chat in here. And I'm going to say okay. What we're going to do is paste that URL right in here. And you can change up the width and the height that you want your chat box to be depending upon what your overlay looks like. Click OK, and then my chat is going to show up right in here. Now, it's probably not going to do that right now because, of course, I'm already using it once on that other one. But that is how you put your chat widget in there, and it should function. It should function. Let us go back to 27 people watching. Amazing. Amazing. I'm just telling you that a great sandwich, it's a terrible thing to waste. Let's go over and see the beautiful and wonderful Monica with the Monica question cam.
Well, I'm going to jump ahead. I apologize, guys. I'm going to get to your questions in order, I promise. There is a quick question here that from Hughes Events saying, is Monica using the Elgato green screen or a pop-up?
The Elgato green screen or a pop-up? Interesting. Okay. All right.
I'm sure that's a quick answer.
Yeah, the question is she using the Elgato green screen, which I don't really know what that is. But basically we have a webcam over here, and I think I might actually be able to show you. Let me see if I can show you right here on the stream. So we're gonna go. Let's go to one of the Monica cams here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select. Let's see. I can turn off the background, and maybe not. Maybe not. It's a portable green screen, actually. It's a portable green screen that is just one that you can wrap up, and it fits in a little baggie about this big. Yeah, so it's not a full-size green screen with all the lights and everything, all the lights that I'm using. You wouldn't even. So we're gonna go to video capture device. What's that? Well, somebody asked. They want to see what the green screen looks like. Huh? Alright, so this is me, but if I take this camera off of here and I scroll over, here you can see we got the Slayer, which is awesome. But anyway, there's Monica, and you can see it's a portable green screen, and this right here is the webcam we're using for that. So, and this is not, I'm not sponsored by Pepsi, so if you want to see what my awesome lighting looks like, there it is. Home Depot special, baby. That's how I light my green screen. So there you go. There's a little behind the scenes tour of the janky setup I have over there. Isn't that awesome? There you go. It's not an Elgato green screen. Oh, hey, yeah, he's cheap. Michael T. Panetta knows this man. Knows this. You know what? I think a lot of people watch my channel because they know that I'm going to try to show them how to do everything as cheaply as possible. And Michael T. Panetta just confirmed that that is in fact true. It is in fact true. So let's go over to the most amazing and lovely sandwich maker and question asker in history. Right now, let's go to the Monica question cam for question number 4. Question
number 4, perhaps, maybe? But I am getting to your questions now in order, I promise. Okay, first question officially. Red Blue Talk says, can Michael please go over the OBS stats to watch to optimize stream quality?
Oh. Hell yes, I can do that. This is one of my favorite questions. You guys know I have a tech background, so I am super pumped to be able to go over this. Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to flip over here. All right, so if you're not seeing your stats on the screen, if you go up here to to View, and you go to Docs, and you select Stats, it's going to put your stats in your overlay. Now, if you're looking at your stats, this shows you your CPU usage, and this isn't totally accurate because you have to understand this is my second instance of OBS. Obviously, I'm running OBS to stream. Thank you. Oh my gosh, $3 super chat. Thank you, Saved by My Sins. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. So this is the second instant of OBS that I'm running on this screen. So the 0.5 CPU usage may not necessarily be accurate. Your mileage may vary. But I have it set to run at 30 frames per second, and we're currently rendering at 0.5 milliseconds. And of course, that's because if you look here, we're not rendering anything. It's black. So let's add something to this scene. I'm going to add a media source just for fun. And we will. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to add one of Monica's Monica Cam backgrounds here. Which one should we add? Let's add Riverside. And I'm going to loop it, and I'm going to click OK. So you can see right now it's running at 7.4 in the CPU usage. I have this much disk space available. The disk space available depends on which hard drive you're running it off of. I have like 4 hard drives in this machine, so the current one that I'm running off of is showing, 213. Now, since I'm running 2 instances, the main instance of OBS right now is using 635 megabytes. And then, of course, this one is using 581 megabytes. So that shows you a little bit about the memory usage that you're getting. Luckily, I have a pretty fast memory in this machine, so it's doing okay. Your frames per second, 30. We could go to 60, and it would kind of be fun to set it at 60 and see what it does. But your average milliseconds, this is kind of the gauge of how long your machine is taking to render these frames. And then if you are having a laggy stream, a situation where you're getting a lot of dropped frames, it looks terrible and all that kind of stuff, you want to look at this frames missed due to render lag and skipped frames due to encoding lag. Skipped frames due to encoding lag means your encoder cannot keep up fast enough to create the stream going out. So it's going to drop frames. And then frames missed due to render lag are frames that your GPU or your graphics card doesn't create fast enough for the encoder. So these two both would be problems with your actual computer. And then if you look down here in the bottom left-hand corner, or in the bottom right-hand corner, I apologize, when you are live, you're going to get a little green bubble here with your kilobits per second. And if that little green bubble starts to drop into the yellow or the red, telling you you're not streaming out enough kilobytes per second, that is a product of your actual internet connection. So if your internet connection can't keep up with what you're trying to stream, down here in the bottom right hand corner, that's where you're going to find that out. So hopefully this helps you to understand how to identify whether you're having a hardware problem and what that hardware problem might be, or a software problem, or not a software, but a internet connection problem. That would be down in the bottom right. And I want to take a second and say hi to some people. We have Pauline Newman, the YouTube angel. I think Pauline Newman just put out a video at 8 o'clock tonight. You might recognize Pauline Newman because she is right up here in the quality channel section. She's absolutely amazing. Get to know her if you have the chance. Julio Morales, hello and good evening. Hugh Events. We've got Michael T. Panetta. Thank you, Michael, for coming and stopping by and hanging out, man. I really appreciate it, and it takes a lot of the pressure off of Monica. If you have any questions, you can ask Michael. You can add Tech Examined, another one of the quality channels you'll see over here, and he'll make sure that Monica gets those questions in order. Astro Parchi, I'm sure I said that wrong. Astro Pashi? Astro Parsh, okay. Well, hello. Hike with Mike is in the house. Hello, hello. All right. I think I said hi to everybody. Oh, Diana is in the house. Hello, Diana SF. And Moss. Moss is in the house. Another one who you're going to find over here in the quality channel section. Very, very cool. Ariel, hello. I'm not going to, I don't want to butcher your last name. So we're going to save the love and say Ariel, because it's, you know, one of my favorite Disney princesses too. And I do want to thank Saved by My Sins for the super chat. That is freaking amazing. You guys are awesome. Let's go over to the most absolutely stunningly gorgeous question asker that I've ever seen in my entire life. And she makes a heck of a sandwich. That's right, question number 5 with the Monica Question King.
Next question comes from Saved by My Sins. He says, I've been watching Michael with OBS and I might have missed it, but I was interested in finding out how to export from After Effects into Premiere and getting it all set up in one place.
Oh, interesting. All right. So I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but I'm assuming that you are talking about if you wanted to add effects to an overlay and then animate it in Premiere. I'm not totally sure. But let's just for the sake of fun, let's go over and do a quick tutorial here. I'm going to go into let's see. I'm going to open this up. We're going to bring this over here. And I'm going to go into Pixlr if it'll open up for me tonight. And we're going to go to Pixlr. Animations. All right. So let's say we went to Pixlr E. I don't want. Do I want to go to Pixlr E? Yeah, let's do this. Monica Cam. So we've got this here, and just for the sake of fun, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another piece to this so that it gives us something to animate. All right. So I'm going to put this here, and it's not going to be right because it's the wrong color. Let's flip this. And it added it to the same thing. So we don't want to do that. I'm going to add a layer. We're gonna make it empty. I'm going to use. I'm going to turn on my color palette, and we're going to use this color right here. All right. So then I'm going to go into my thing. We're going to fill, and I'm going to turn off my color palette. And I want to select my empty layer, and I'm just going to put some color in here. Well, you know what? I don't want to do that either. We're going to go back here, and now I'm going to put some color in there. All right, come on. Come on. We could do the... Oh, I have to add my layer again. Sorry. All right, so now we've got an extra layer. I'm going to just add some color in here. And I'm using Pixlr. I'm using the wrong Pixlr, but that's okay. Let's just say that's what how we wanted it to look. We didn't really want this white bar around it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save out this layer like this. We're going to go to File, Save, and then I'm going to go to PNG, and we're going to download the PNG file. Let's call this tutorial toot1. We'll call it toot1. Download, and let's see. You've chosen toot1, save file. Yeah, that's what we want to do. All right, and then I'm going to add this piece, and I'm going to remove these two, and I'm going to call this one toot2. All right, because this is going to be a very simple kind of how you edit your stuff, and I can see why I'm not working because I didn't actually log into my Pixlr account, but that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to open up my Premiere because you wanted to see how you can get this into Premiere. All right, so I'll show you. Once we get Premiere open, where is it? Where be it? All right, there it is. It's on the wrong screen. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? All right. And it's still loading. So we're going to go with a new project. We're going to just call this one Toot. And we'll put it in the same folder as the lower third. Since it is kind of a lower third tutorial, hopefully this is not going... Yeah, no, my system looks good. My system looks good. So what I want to do now is I want to go and I want to drag Toot1 and Toot2. Toot2. That's pretty funny. We're going to drag this in here. And now we've gonna drag it into my timeline. So what we got is Toot1 and Toot2. We're gonna make sure we get these hooked up the way we want. And I can already see a problem with how I did this because I should have put Monica Cam on a separate layer, but I didn't. So it's okay. It's still gonna show us what we want to see. So now I'm gonna select both of those. I'm gonna right click and I'm going to go to replace in After Effects composition. And this is going to look horrible because I didn't export it correctly, but that's okay. You wanted to see how we do the how you would use it in context with Premiere, and that's exactly what this is. So now I could take this composition, and yeah, that's fine. You could save it wherever you want. And we have, if I zoom in here, this is the composition that we have. So maybe let's see. I want to take this, and at the beginning of our playhead, we're gonna take the transform, and we're gonna add that position there. And I'm gonna move this out a little bit on my timeline. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to move it up, and we'll move it across like this. So we're gonna just give it a little bit of movement. All right, and keep in mind that the Monica Cam segment should be separate as well. I should have saved out 3 different pieces, but now you can see if I press play, we've got a little bit of animation on our Monica Cam lower thirds. So then all I have to do is go up here, and I can click save. And so let's say that, and well, actually, once I do that, if I go in here, you're going to see it's all one composition, and it's going to give us exactly that. So you can add whatever effects you want in After Effects once you take those 2 and ship them over there, and then it'll show up here in Premiere. So hopefully that answers your question in a really probably poorly worded, long-winded way. But that's how you're going to use Premiere Pro and After Effects together. You just import all your files in Premiere Pro, select the ones that you want to animate, go in there and right-click and choose use a link to an After Effects project. Then anything that you do there and save in After Effects is going to create that exact same effect that we just saw. I hope that explains it. Let's go to the amazing Monica in the next question. Here we go.
Here we go. We first have a comment. I wanted to just mention this comment Red Blue Talk made about your review of the OBS stats. He wrote that review was wonderful. You can clip that out and make a separate video out of it. Just what I needed. Thank you. So there you go. Okay, now next question.
Hold on. That's awesome. I just did make a separate video out of it. If you guys want to see it, let me link it here, just because I don't want anyone to think. And I actually did one that does the exact same sort of breakdown for audio problems. So if you missed that earlier in the stream, there is the link to that video for telling you exactly how to figure out what's causing problems on your live stream. Let's go back to the beautiful Monica.
Okay, well, the next question then comes from Garrett Reviews. He says, I watched a few of your videos and got my OBS working. However, the sound is terrible. So maybe this video will be able to help that as well. I don't know.
Well, we shall see. You are absolutely in luck. I have a video that I just released Monday that's going to show you how to repair or fix problems that you're having with your audio. So let me link that. But I do want to further say and mention that I'm going to be doing a video, probably it'll be released within the next week and a half to 2 weeks, that's going to be soup to nuts, adding audio in OBS with a Mac and a PC, and talking about how you do it each step of the way. There are a couple of different ways to add audio in OBS, and there's also a couple of different ways that OBS adds audio to your live stream without you knowing about it, and there are differences between how it does it depending upon whether you have a PC or a Mac. So it can be really, really confusing, and I totally understand why so many people have so many audio problems. This video is going to solve a lot of your audio problems, and because chances are something is adding an audio source that's not what you want, and that's probably what's causing it, and you'll be able to figure out what that is with this video. But either way, I'm going to do a video specifically on how to set up your audio for the highest and best quality results. So that's a video that's going to be coming your way in the next couple of weeks. And I'm really excited about it too, because one of the biggest questions I almost always get is, why does my audio sound bad? Why is my audio too quiet? Why am I getting looping audio? I'm getting a high screechy sound. All of those sorts of things. We want to make sure that you can get those fixed. So let's go over and see the most amazing sandwich maker and beautiful Monica on the planet with the Monica question cam.
A follow-up question from Garrett. He does say, what mic are you using, and is it USB or connected to the camera because it sounds good?
Alrighty. So the microphone I use is this one here. Let me see if I can get it on screen. This is a shotgun mic, and it is made by Sennheiser. I don't remember the exact model. It's possible Tech Examine knows the exact model number, and he can drop it in the chat here. This is an XLR microphone, which means that it has a battery. It's powered physically in the microphone, and it's actually hooked directly up to my camera. And the reason why that I suggest this kind of setup, where my microphone goes directly to my camera, and then my camera is fed to the computer through an HDMI, is the audio signal and the video signal are very, very, very unlikely to be out of sync if you connect it this way. Whereas if I was using this camera and a USB microphone, there's always the chance the video arrives before the audio does, and then you have to sync them, and it's just one more layer of possible problems that can happen. So I use an XLR microphone with an actual jack that plugs into my camera, and it eliminates that problem. And I would recommend, if you are having audio problems and you have a separate camera and a separate USB mic and a separate this and a separate that, do the best you can to try to simplify that whole thing. You know, because it just, live streaming is freaking hard. I'm just gonna flat out tell you, to pull off a seamless live stream is really hard. I live streamed for 2 years, or for almost 2 years, every single day for 1 hour, and that's, you know, 600 live streams. And I can tell you right now, not a single one of those was ever flawless. There was always a microphone problem, or something's out of sync, or whatever. There it is. Tech Examine says it's a Sennheiser MKE 600. He knows, because he gave me this amazing, amazing microphone. But stuff just goes wrong when you're live streaming. So when you first start out, start with the very basics, the easiest setup that you can get, and then add all this stuff, all the microphones and the extra cameras and all that stuff. So you gotta walk before you can run. So just keep in mind, it's hard, and you'll get there. You'll get there. We're gonna go to the absolutely most amazing sandwich maker on the planet, and I think this is question 10. Wow, we're whipping through them tonight. Here is the Monica question cam.
Next question comes from Ariel Schattenstein. He says, thanks for a great show. I am about to build a new machine for streaming. Is there anything I need to think of if I want to use a number on NDI connected device?
Okay.
A number one NDI connected device? A number on?
A number of, maybe? A number of NDI connected devices. Okay, so the main concern when you're building a machine specifically for live streaming, I want to point out there's two huge caveats here. One, if you're building a live stream for gaming, the requirements are much, much loftier than you just building a live streaming machine for live streaming, just like this one. My machine is, I think I built this computer in 2013. Granted, I custom built it. So at the time, the equipment that is in this machine was the very, very best that I could get. But the truth is, you could probably buy the equipment that's in this machine that I use for my live streams right now for, I don't know, $600, something like that. In other words, if you're just doing a live stream with people and you're not gaming, you can get away with much lower end equipment. The one piece I wouldn't skimp on, or at least, well, the one piece that I definitely think you should have is you want to make sure that you have an NVIDIA card in that machine with an NVIC encoder. If you're not going to be streaming games, it doesn't really matter. You can get an NVIDIA card with an NVIC encoder in that machine. You can get the cheapest NVIDIA card, it doesn't matter. But the NVIC encoder is what does all of the encoding, which means that if you have a CPU that's cheap and didn't cost you very much, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be encoding it. As long as that CPU can make sure that it puts everything together and produces a picture on your screens, that's all that matters. So in your case, it sounds like you're looking for adding a lot of NDI devices and that sort of stuff. And really, to be honest with you, you don't need a high-end machine to add that sort of stuff. You just want to make sure that your video card has the NVIC encoder. So get an NVIDIA video card. I think even something much cheaper than the 1650 will do. Just the NVIC encoder is really what you want. So theoretically, you could probably go out there and buy the cheapest desktop machine that you can find, add an NVIDIA card in it, and you're probably going to be in pretty good shape. It sounds silly to think about, but you probably will be. Maybe make sure it has at least 16 gigs of RAM, and you want a relatively decent hard drive. But honestly, you don't have to spend a whole heck of a lot of money. Just make sure you have that NVIDIA card, and you'll be okay. Let's go over to the absolutely... Oh, she's typing. Hold on. Okay, all right, here we go. Here we go.
I'm actually responding back to Julio Morales because he asked Michael, have I ever made you a Cuban pork sandwich? And the answer is no, I have not made him a Cuban pork sandwich. And you know, I'm going to tell you guys a secret. He calls me the amazing sandwich maker. My amazing sandwiches are usually like ham and cheese with mustard. That's it. That's it. But the way he describes it, it's always better when somebody else makes it. So that's why he calls me the amazing sandwich maker. So I'm not flashy and fancy and all this paninis and all that stuff. No, it's basic. It's all basic. So no, he has never had a Cuban pork sandwich, at least not by me. So there you go. Okay, back to the show. Now, next question comes from Giorgio. He says, Michael, I want to know, how can I put the arrow box in the YouTube description?
How can I put the arrow box in the YouTube description? I'm gonna probably need a slightly better description because I'm not totally certain what you're asking.
Is he talking about the YouTube with the arrow in it?
Right. Oh, are you talking about you want to add the overlay into your videos or something like that? Because there are all kinds of packs that you could buy that can do that. Or for me, I created the overlay that does a little arrow that points to the subscribe. For me, I did that all on in After Effects, and it's not terribly difficult. I don't think I have the file on this machine to be able to show you. But basically, what I did was, I went out and got an image of the mouse arrow. And I went out and got an image of the little subscribe button, and I put them into Premiere Pro, and I just edited it so the arrow went over and kind of did a little motion like it was clicking, and then edited it off, and then I just put sound behind it, and I saved that out with a transparency. Now that's probably the hardest part about it, is saving out the video as a transparency. But if you have further questions about how to save it out as a transparency, message me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is right here. And I will get you the information that you're looking for to save out your video from Premiere Pro as a transparency. I know I have it in a video. I just can't rack my brain fast enough to remember exactly which video it is. But chances are, if you go to the video that I have that shows you how to create dynamic overlays in Premiere Pro and After Effects, that's going to show you how to save it out as a transparency. And that video basically shows you how I created this overlay right here. So creating the little arrow with the subscribe logo is the same process almost as creating this. The only difference is I use this in OBS, but I use that one as an overlay in videos. So hopefully that answers your question, but if it does not answer your question, I don't get many that I can't just answer. So if that doesn't answer your question, do me a favor and just message me on Twitter, direct message me on Twitter, and I will get to your question. I'll definitely answer it. Now to the amazing and specially wonderful Monica Cam.
This question comes from Doc Murdoch, and I don't always listen when he answers. Most of the time, I don't really listen to his answer. So if you just answered this question, then just tell me that. But this is from Doc Murdoch, and he says, I would like to see you do a little more instruction on Pixlr and DaVinci Resolve to create the different aspects of your live stream overlays, widgets, and transitions.
So, all right. Well, so Doc, I don't use DaVinci Resolve. I use Premiere, so that part I won't be able to help you with. But I'm going to continue to create videos that show you how to do all of the stuff that I've done here with Pixlr. And actually, I have a video. I don't know. I think I just put out a video the other day that shows you how to do the lower thirds that I created for Monica, and how to animate lower thirds and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to continue to show you how to do it. I do not use DaVinci, but I'm a cheap dude, so that might be coming down the pike. You just never know. You just never know. But unfortunately, Doc, that's a lot, and I'll keep working it and make sure that I deliver. But if you have something you specifically want to know, message me on Twitter or type it in here. I do have one of my best friends on YouTube. His name is Jay Littman. He is basically the DaVinci Resolve guy. And if I need to, I can always go to him and he can collaborate with me to help me put together a video that shows how to do something in Pixlr, and then he can show the second half of how to finish it in Resolve. So we can do that as well. So if you have something you specifically want to see, don't hesitate to either leave it here or message me on in Twitter, and I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen. I really do appreciate the question. Thank you. Let's see what Monica's question cam has to say now.
Ooh. Next question comes from Scott Hampton. He says, I followed Michael's video on how to use OBS with Zoom. The problem I'm having is there's a lag time between the two. Are there any settings I can use to fix it? I'm using a new PC with all the bells and whistles and very good Wi-Fi.
All right. So anytime that you're doing something over the internet, it's going to lag. And what's happening with your OBS to Zoom, I'm assuming you said, so let me get this straight first. Can you kind of read that for me real quick?
He saw your video on OBS with how to use OBS with Zoom. He's having lag time between the two, and he's looking for settings to fix it using a new PC.
Excuse me. Okay. So anytime that you're grabbing a signal that comes from the internet, in this case, you are capturing your Zoom signal, you're going to get a lag. When I say whatever I say right here in this room physically, if I'm watching my YouTube stream, it's 30 seconds after I say it right now. So 30 seconds is a long time. If I sat here for 30 seconds, half of you would get bored and leave. That's how long 30 seconds is. So when you're broadcasting something to Zoom that you're adding into OBS, if you're watching the Zoom stream, which you are, that's what you're capturing, it's always going to be a few seconds behind, because your signal has to go out to the internet and then come back to your machine, and then that audio plays through your thing. There's really, honestly, no way around this. I wish there was. And there are some like super high latency settings that you can choose and that sort of stuff. But to be perfectly honest with you, no matter how much latency you eliminate, it's always going to be a second or two behind. And my guess is the reason why you're asking this question is because you have to put your video on from Zoom, or you have to put your audio on from Zoom. Probably your audio has to come on from Zoom because you're doing a Zoom capture, which means that it's a party audio. Everyone is on it. There's no way to remove you from that audio unless you don't want your guests to hear. But you're using your local camera, so your video is going to be a couple of seconds before your audio. I can show you how to fix that problem. So let's say that your video is coming in just a few seconds before your camera. I'm going to add a camera in here, video capture device. And we'll go with this really janky webcam I have right here. Look at that. Boy, that looks really bad. Really bad. But you know what? It gets, yeah, we're doing it for the peeps. You're right, honey. So you want to make sure that this doesn't even add any custom, you know, I don't really need this. It's going to add an audio device anyways, which is going to, the audio device on this webcam is just as bad as life itself sometimes. So we don't really want that. I want to add a custom audio device to it. I'm going to add my Cam Link audio device. It's definitely not going to be in sync. If I clap, you can see it's like a couple seconds behind. So what I would do is I'd go into filters, and I would hear this a lot better because I'd be wearing headphones. Kids, wear your headphones. We're going to go to filters, and we're going to go here. We're going to click plus, and we're going to go to video delay async. And now what I can do is I can delay my video, which is coming in first, and my audio, which is coming in second, just a little bit, so that when I clap and I can see, there we go. Oh, nah, that's probably too much. But you can play with this. Little more. That's pretty close. That's pretty close, but you get the point. You gotta listen to your audio, do the clap. You can adjust it. If you're having problems in the other direction, where your video is on time but your audio is delayed, what you could do is you can go into here and go to advanced audio properties, and you can adjust the sync offset on here to move your audio a few frames forward and backward, and that can fix the problem that you're having with your audio and video not syncing up. But the latency problem, it just exists. Anytime you're sending something out to the internet and having it come back, it's just not going to be instantaneous. It sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So they've got ways for us to deal with these sorts of problems. The async for audio, and then the sync. Both those sync methods will work. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's go to the amazing and beautiful Monica. But for a second, I want to just say hi to some of the folks in the stream that I didn't get to say hi to. Double Kicks, hello! I did say hi to the beautiful Pauline Newman, but I'm going to do it again. Hello, Pauline. The Artist Haven is in the house. Hello. Diana SFNG. I saw her earlier tonight. We were on Wendell live stream hanging out. He's doing his thing. It was a lot of fun. Future Soundbeat, hello. Awesome to see you. Frail Gaming, hello, hello. I think that's everybody. But if I hadn't said hi to you, I apologize. But I want to make sure that I get to everyone's questions, because there is, I'm just going to let you know right now, there is a Hallmark Christmas movie on at 10 o'clock called Christmas in Rome, and I want to see it. So I'm just letting you know. Here we go. The beautiful and amazing Monica Question Cam.
Next question is from Astroparch. He says, hi Michael, if I want to do a webinar session using, let's say, Restream Studio or Skype plus OBS, but I need that my viewers register privately and not go public like Zoom does, how can I do it?
All right. So basically you want to not have your viewers register. The thing,
I need my viewers to register privately.
yeah. What I would do is you could have them register on your local website, and you could share out the you could have your viewers register privately on like your website or something like that, and then you could just use OBS or something to go live to talk to those particular viewers from a webinar perspective directly on YouTube with an unlisted video. That's a possibility. Or if you want to be able to actually meet with the people directly in a webinar format where they could interact with you and talk to you, you could send them each individual links to add themselves to like a Restream Studio. You never have to go live. You don't have to press the go live, but they can all come in there with the links that you send them and interact with you and talk to you. You can share your screen, do a webinar. The only real flaw with that is that you can only have up to 10 people in Restream.io, but it does work. It does allow you to share the screen. It also allows your guests to share your screen. So if you wanted to have a guest speaker on a webinar or something, they can actually, you can solo them so that they're the only ones on the screen, and you can highlight them and that sort of stuff. The thing is if you're going to have it so that they don't have to personally register for your webinar in a public way, you're probably going to have to take it onto your own website or something like that. I'm thinking is probably the best way to do that, because then you know who they are, but they don't. But it doesn't. It's not public. And if they were to get added into Restream, say you were going to just do a presentation or something, as long as you don't press the go live button, you know, the only people in that room are the only ones that are going to see it. And they don't have to register. They don't have to download the software. They don't have to give their names or anything. All they need is that link and they can get in. So hopefully that answers your question. If that doesn't answer your question, that's another more complex situation, and I can probably help you solve it if you just hit me up on Twitter, and I can dig a little further and see if we can find a solution for you. Let's go to the amazing and wonderful Monica on the amazing and wonderful Monica question cam of doom.
Of doom? The question cam of doom? Oh no. Okay, first question. Julio Morales asked a question just to say, you're watching Christmas in July. Yes, we are watching Christmas in July. That's what we do. Yes, so we do enjoy those. Next question is from Moss 6510 Models. He says, do live streams get recommended more than an edited video upload? I'm finding after a live I spike, then it doesn't really get watched, but my edited videos seem to get views. Now hold on, there's a second part here. It's like my views die on live streams, but the edited uploads continue to get views.
Hold on, let's get to the right screen. Moss, this is an awesome question. When you are physically live streaming, especially if you have a live stream where lots of people are chatting it up and it's an interesting subject or topic, or it's something hot, YouTube is going to share that video as if it's a brand new video. They're going to pop it into everybody's dashboard and to suggested and all that stuff. It's actually pretty crazy how much YouTube will try to push out your live stream to other people. But the second that live stream is finished, the fun is over. The ride is over. It's difficult for YouTube to really determine what sort of audience the replay of your live stream is going to have. First of all, because there's not a lot of people on YouTube that are clicking around on 1 hour videos. So once it's done, and a live stream usually tends to be at least an hour long. And once it's done, it's done. You know, the excitement about a live stream is being there and being able to interact with the audience and ask the questions and all that sort of stuff. YouTube realizes this. So once the live stream is done, it doesn't really have a lot of legs. And that's what makes, there are some things that you can do. One, if you're going to do a live stream where you're talking about a very specific thing that's a hot topic, go on there, talk about that specific thing, do it for 30 minutes, make sure your SEO is perfect, make sure your make sure your SEO is perfect and your thumbnail is epic and all that stuff. Do that for 15, 20, 30 minutes, end it, and there's a chance that YouTube will continue to push that video as if it was just a regular video content. Otherwise, you could take that live streaming video content and cut it out of there into a smaller video that just shows the pieces that are really important, SEO the poop out of it, make sure it has an epic thumbnail and an awesome title, and then just re-release it as like the best of or whatever, you know. So you could do those two things. But you are absolutely right. Live streams get pushed while you're live, and once you're not live, YouTube doesn't really take that much of an interest in some of your older live streams. Because let's face it, a 1 hour video, the click-through rate is horrible because nobody's clicking on that. So why bother pushing a 1 hour video? It's just not something that a lot of people watch. So thanks, Moss. That was a great question. Let's go to the amazing Monica with the amazing Monica question cam.
Okay, next question is from Dave Hyde. Is there any way of making a black background transparent in Premiere? I am new to Premiere, so it could be an easy question to answer.
There's a bit of caveat here. Let me open my Premiere and I'll kind of try to show you what I'm talking about. So you're trying to make a black background transparent. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is what you're asking. Let me just get my Premiere open and then I'll see if I can show you how you would do that. Do I have an image with a black background? I don't think I do. But I'll try to show you with a different image and we'll see if we can figure it out. Let me switch you over to my tutorial screen here. We have our thing. I'm gonna go into I know those are transparencies. Let's go to the Monica cam. Do we have anything here? Yeah, let's do this. Let's say that our guy here is black. He's not black. We might be able to actually fix it so he is. If I go into Lumici color basic, I can probably turn the exposure, bring up the shadows, the saturation, whatever. Either way, let's just pretend that this guy's black. His whole thing, he's like an outline. If I wanted to, what I could do is I could go into effects and I can go to, let's see, key. There's a bunch of different color keys. Probably Luma key or color key, one of these two. I can select a color that I want to be transparent, and let's select this blue color just for fun, because that might actually work. So if we select that, then we can use the color tolerance, and I can eliminate the blue from the picture. And you can see how this could be something you really have to mess with. We can feather that edge, and so that's kind of one of the tools that you can use. Color key is not the best one. You could use something like Ultra Key. I could do the same thing, but it gives me a lot more options. So let's say I wanted to remove that blue. You could see that already worked better than the other one. So I can go down here to matte generation, and I can up the tolerance a little bit. And I know some people watching this are like, I don't understand what he's doing. So let me do something real quick here. I'm gonna add another image into this scene so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. When we say we're talking about adding a transparency, what we mean is we want to make it see-through. So make it like a green screen. And there you go. So you can see that the area in the blue, like that. So if I wanted to clean this up, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn that tolerance down. What is it? Oh, the pedestal. Okay. We'll select the colors again. Alright, let's fit. Hold on. Fit this to the screen. So that's what the problem is. We lost our blue. Here it is. Alright, so we're going to go back and we're going to select this color again. And what I'm going to do is try to clean up the matte. So there we go. We're adjust the matte shadow, and we're going to change the tolerance a little bit. So what we're trying to do is just make sure that the only part that's selected is the black. Now this is going to be different if you have a picture with a lot of contrast, like a black background and then a lot of color. This is going to be a lot easier. So I'm just trying to do this quickly just to show you how that works. But you see how we've basically done the same thing with his blue shirt. You could do it with any color you want. You just go into the color picker and you select it, and you use this Ultra key and clean up the matte and all that sort of stuff. So I could choke this, and there's a lot of things I can do to soften it up and all that stuff. But hopefully that answers your question as to how you can key out black from your overlays and stuff. I hope. I don't know. Did he respond? Did he say that we're in the right spot? Hopefully. All right, let's go back to the Monica question cam and see what we've got next.
Okay, next is another question or a comment. I'm not sure. You have to be the judge. Doc Murdoch, who says he went to switch from a media scene to the live cam scene and OBS glitched. Checked for dropped frames and connection and nothing. Found out later the audio was out of sync by 3 to 5 seconds. So is that like a comment? Just a...
Yeah, it's sort of a comment. Okay. But the thing is you can run into OBS problems like that. And a lot of times the way that, yeah, if you guys were watching maybe 2 weeks ago, I was having the same kind of problems where every time I would go over to Monica's camera, it would, and then I would switch back, my audio would be out of sync and all that kind of stuff. I can tell you what the problem was. The problem was I was using more than one camera on the same USB bus. So once I would go to Monica's camera, the bus wouldn't be able to handle the bandwidth because it's USB and it only has a certain amount of bandwidth. So then when I'd come back to me, my audio was all out of sync and it was a mess. And every time I would do it, it would be a different audio sync, so I couldn't fix it. So my recommendation for you is if you're using multiple cameras, make sure you have them on separate USB buses. I now have 3 cameras. I have Monica's camera, I have my main camera, and then I have this little USB camera so I can do demos and displays with you guys. And I use those 3 different cameras in a way, but they're all on separate buses on my computer. I have 3 different USB buses. If I had to add a 4th camera, I would be in trouble because I do not have a 4th USB bus. So check and see if maybe that's what's causing your problem. You've gone away and then came back. The other thing that I would check and see is if that's a problem that you've had, are you using the video in the exact same scene as what you were trying to do? In other words, let's bring up OBS here. If I added my camera here, video capture device, live camera, we'll go to the general webcam, and then I add a video image or a media source in here. And we're gonna loop it. Okay, so we got a video source in here. We have my video capture, which I want to make sure is, we're gonna transform and we're gonna fit it to the screen. All right, so now we've got a media source in here and I can switch like that. It's just like switching scenes. Or were you using it in such a way that you had your camera here and no media source, remove, and in your other scene you had a video source, so you switch scenes like that, because that matters. And I've also seen some glitching happen depending upon how your stingers work. So you see the thing that flips across the screen there when I change transitions. I've seen some situations where stingers can cause some weird audio glitching. So just make sure that your stingers are as light as they can possibly be. If you can do them in WebP, I think it is, or something like that, use that. Make them as small as you can. But that's my, hopefully I answered your question. Hopefully I did. We'll see. I've been known to get just off on a tangent too. It has happened once. Here's the Monica question.
Next question is from the Future Soundbeat. He says, I downloaded your overlay YouTube subscriptions. How can I add that to my screen so that it pops up every few minutes? He used Streamlabs OBS.
Okay. All right, so if you are using this, man, let's see, can I do this? I don't know if I probably can't get to it right now. But let me try to. Oh, you know what? I can probably get to it, but I'm not going to do it on this screen. I'm gonna go and download one of those things so I can show you how to get to it. I think I might be able to do this. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are doing awesome. All I have to do, I should be able to change this. Sign out. I don't know if I have the login I'm going to need to get to where I need to go to here, but we'll try it. Because yeah. All right. Essentially, what I'm thinking you're trying to do, yeah, I don't have it saved. Essentially, what I think you're trying to do, wow, that's probably pretty annoying to watch now that I look at it, because it's like me doubled in bad ways with one horrible camera. So let me remove this. What I think you're trying to do is you're trying to add an overlay. Oh, you know what? I have the perfect way to show you. Let's go here. We'll add a media source. I created this overlay for the Monica question cam, and I don't know if I created it on this machine or not, so that could be part of the problem. Well, let's just see. Lower thirds. Here it is. Here it is. So here's the video, and this is going to be exactly the same as the videos that you're talking about that you downloaded off my thing. So if I add this video on here and I want to loop it, what it'll do is it pops on, and there it is, the Monica question cam. I just did a video on how to create that, and then it pops off, and then it pops on. I can make this happen anytime I want just by turning off my eyeball here. And just so you know, this is going to be in front of the screen. So if I put my video capture device back on here again, all right, and I want that to transform, and we're going to fit it to the screen. There we go. So if I do that and I have my media source, I can play it right now. There we go. Shows up whenever I want or wherever I want, and then it's off, and then it's on. So you can animate it and have it. If you animate it and you set up the time at the beginning and the end so that it comes up or goes down whenever you want, you can do that. Now, those actual overlays weren't created specifically for live streams. Those were created just so you could drag them and drop them into something like Premiere Pro so that they would come up on your screen during your video. So you're trying to use it for your live stream, and you can do that, but they're very short, which means that they're going to loop really fast. So you're going to just have to use the eyeball to have it come out, and it'll stay out, and as long as it stays out, and then it'll go back, and you can just turn it off. I showed you in a video that I did on Monday how you can, I think it was Monday, I just did a video this week showing you how you can make that stuff stay on your screen. So let me get you a link to that, so that you can do the same thing with the subscribe thing. If you wanted it to stay on your screen for a little longer, or you wanted to add some space behind it, this is going to show you how you can modify that file so that you can get a little bit more space to it. Yeah, hopefully that's going to answer your question. I hope. There we go. It took me a little too long to get there, so I apologize to everyone who had to wait through my amazingly uncomfortable figuring out how to do that. But I think we got there in the end. So I'm going to go back to the amazing Monica question cam, and we're going to see what's next. How many questions we got, babe?
We have about 5.
All right, let's do this.
We have about 5. Okay. TS7 Gaming asks, how can I get my phone audio on streaming OBS?
How can you get your phone audio on streaming OBS? You mean you're taking a phone call, like directly off the internet phone call? You can't really get that onto OBS unless, of course, you're using a Mac and your Mac is synced up with your computer. Let's say you're using a Mac. I'm going to go to tutorial here. Let's say that you're using a Mac and you just wanted to record a phone call. Well, you can take that phone call on your Mac and you can listen to it through your speakers. And if you can listen to it through your speakers, what you could do is you could go to audio output capture on your Mac, and then you can just go to whatever device is playing that audio, like say speakers, select that, And anything that goes out through your speakers is going to play right here in your audio, which means that you can just go and start recording it. So that is one way you could do it. Now, audio capture works a little bit differently on a Mac. I'm just letting you know that right now. You have to set up like I show you and all that other stuff. So if you want to know how you can set your Mac up to capture audio from applications running on your Mac, let me get you a video right here that will show you how to do that. Now, this video is not specifically for the application that you're looking for. This video is actually how to capture audio from, you know, Skype or Zoom or whatever. But if you're running the phone app on your Mac, it's going to capture that audio just the same. So let me see if I can find this video. And the first part of it tells you how to set up the iShowU device. And that's really what you need to do what you're trying to do. Let's see. I believe here it is. This is actually the video that most people found my channel from. So you might have already seen it. But the beginning part of this one is going to show you how to do it. Hey, thank you for posting that video, Pauline. I appreciate it. I make sure I get to where I'm supposed to be. Moss left. See you, Moss. Good night, my friend. Let's go over to the Monica question cam and see what we've got going on next. 4 more questions, I think.
Next is from Julio Morales. He just asks, ever use Movavi Video Editor Plus version 20? I believe that's version 20, V20? Maybe.
Maybe. I've never used it. I've used Premiere since I started doing my editing. I've heard people using Movavi, but I've never personally used it or seen it, so I don't have an opinion of it, unfortunately. If I were to switch editors right now, I'd probably migrate towards DaVinci Resolve. It seems to be where popular opinion is as far as high quality video editors. I do edit a lot in a Mac, and I know a lot of people who use Macs use Final Cut Pro. I've tried to use Final Cut Pro in the past. Man, the workflow just didn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm so used to using Premiere, and since I'm not 22 anymore and I don't learn things like that, it's probably not very likely that I'm going to flip to another sort of editor. But you never know. It never hurts to, you never want to stop learning, put it that way. You never want to stop learning. Let's see what the next question is. We'll go to the beautiful Monica question cam.
Next question is from Simpleg Pinoy Sa America. Does OBS work on Streamyard?
Well, OBS is a broadcast software, so it does not work on Streamyard. You could share it with Streamyard, so if you wanted to share your screen to do a tutorial or something like that, you could do that. You could theoretically use Streamyard or use OBS as a virtual camera for Streamyard. I've seen people do that, and what that does is that means that instead of having your image or whatever it is on your regular camera, your Streamyard camera would be whatever's showing in OBS. So you could put on a whole presentation using OBS that would stream to your camera in Streamyard. And yes, you could do that. I do believe that Streamyard accepts virtual camera stuff. So you could theoretically do that, but you know, I've never personally done it. Let's go to the amazing Monica.
Another comment, question from Doc Murdoch. He says, had a 5-minute intro media source in one scene, then transitioned to the main camera scene with a 2-second fade only. First time this has happened in 10 weeks of streaming 3 times a week.
Yep, Doc, I'm thinking it's just a crazy glitch that happened. You know, when I first started live streaming up with my new setup and all that kind of stuff, for the first week, I was having, I think for the first 3 or 4 broadcasts, actually, I was having the worst problems. Internet connection problems and all kinds of other stuff. And you know what? Sometimes it just seems like occasionally stuff is going to go wrong and there's nothing you can do. Now, one of the things that you could probably have done to fix the stream when it went bad is go into your OBS, click stop streaming. Do not change your thing, and then right away as soon as it stops, click start streaming. What YouTube will do is it will go, I lost signal. What's going on here? And then 30 seconds later, it will pick up the signal that you already just restarted, and boom, your stream will pick up again. Usually, it's not ideal, but usually something like that has a good chance to fix your live stream without having to restart everything. So if you ever run into that problem again, it might be something to try. It might be. Let's go to mine.
Okay, last question in queue so far is from Scott Hampton saying, when using picture-in-picture in OBS, what software do you use to create and import a frame to put around the smaller video scene?
Well, it's Scott Hampton. Scott, thank you for asking. I'm going to show you one of my favorite softwares. We are going to, let's see. Do I have a window open over here? I may or may not. I don't know. But we'll bring this one over here. And what I'm going to do is I just love this. In fact, I will be having my own face on their YouTube channel in the very recent, or in the very soon to be future. And that is Pixlr. I use it. In fact, this is an overlay that I did for a tutorial. So you would use something like this to put the image of one this would be something you'd use for guests. So I'd put one guest here, another guest here, another guest here, another guest here. If I wanted to, I could add text to these. It's really simple. I just add the text, and I can change the size of the text and the color and however I want to do it. And I can place it wherever I want, and it probably doesn't need to have all of this right here. So there you go. So I can just create an overlay, and this is see-through. When you see the checkerboard back here, it's totally see-through. How did I create this? I'll just show you real quick, because why not? Let's go to new image, and my canvas size is 1920 by 1080, so that's what I'm going to select. I'm going to go to create. I am going to put a fill in here. And actually what I could do if I wanted to is I could just go to File. Let's go to New Image. We're going to do Full HD. I'm going to set the background. Let's do a nice kind of lightish blue, and we'll create that. So there we go. We have this nice blue color, and I can just go into my little scissor tool here, and I can select the layer, and what I want to do, select image or rasterized text. Oh, so when you do it as a background image, it doesn't show up as a layer. Alright, fine. Fine, we'll go back to this one. And I'll put it in here. We're going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to use that blue. We do not want any stroke. And we'll just create this right here like that. Boom. There we go. Now what we want to do is we want to select that layer. We're going to go to cutout. And I want it to do a shape mask. The mode is going to be remove from the mask. Our shape is going to be the rectangle. And what I'll usually do here is I'll import something that is the size of the box that I want. So in other words, if I have a still image that is the size of the box that I want, which I don't know if I do or not. Let's see if I do. This all might be video stuff. Here it is. So I'll just drag this and drop it on here. Create new. And we don't want to create new. No, that's not what we want to do. That's not what we do. No, we want to do that. That's not what I wanted to do. We're going to drag it on there. We're going to add to the current. See? We're going to add it to the current. You can see this is a lot bigger than the actual image because this is 4K. But it's going to be the correct shape. So we want to keep the aspect fixed, and we're going to just shrink this down to the size of the window that we might want to cut out. So if we want our window cut out to be that size, I'm just using this as a placeholder because I know this is the correct shape of a normal window. And then I'm going to just go to here and I'm going to make sure that I have that background layer selected, and I'm just going to cut it out. Now I don't know if this is going to do what I want it to do. I don't think it is. Boom. No, it didn't. We're going to go to arrange. We have to go up here to mode, and we want to remove from the mask. So we want to remove that box, not remove everything outside the box. So then I just create this little mask here, and boom. And you see when I hide my image, there we go. Now we've got our little cutout, so we can use this for an overlay for a live stream. This would be where my video would go. Over here, maybe we've got some advertisements and the chat box, and down here we might have something else. So that's how I create my overlays. Pixlr X is totally free. I absolutely love it. I use Pixlr X or Pixlr E. Pixlr X is for doing like super quick edits. Take you a couple of seconds to do. Let's say you want to remove blemishes from somebody's image or something like that. You can go into Pixlr X and literally do that in like 2 seconds. But if you want more comprehensive Photoshop style options, Pixlr E is the right one to use. They're both absolutely free. There is a link that I just dropped in here in case you want to check them out for yourself. I highly recommend it, guys. And they've been really good to me. They've been really good to me. So even more reason, if you love what I do, to go check them out. Read the last comment. Julio Morales, Mojave 2020 has a lot of presets. It saves time in editing and somewhat better than Blackmagic. Ah, well that's cool. That's cool. Hey, what's that? Oh, DaVinci. Yeah, that's the Blackmagic. That's what he's talking about. Yeah. It all depends on what you what you're comfortable using. Like, I like all the presets and all that kind of stuff, but believe it or not too long ago there was a time on YouTube where everyone was using like the same music and the same presets and the same video and the same this and the same that. So I've actually gotten to the point where, because I use Premiere Pro, it forced me to create my own transitions and to create my own overlays and to create my own stuff. So I don't like to do that anymore, and nowadays I'll pay someone else to do it, but I know how to do it, and that makes all the difference. So nobody's going to rip me off by saying, well, it's going to take this long to create this overlay. No, it isn't. I know how long it takes because I used to do it. So sometimes learning how to create your own presets and do all that sort of thing is a very big benefit to you. The more knowledge you have in your head and the more you learn, the more value you can offer to people and to yourself later on. So I love all the presets and all that kind of stuff, but don't get too caught up in it. Always keep learning. Always watch as many tutorials as you can on how you can create those sorts of things yourself. I did that forever because I'm a cheap bastard, like Michael T, like Tech Examine said. So I wanted to know how I could do it. So I had to figure it out on my own. And I highly recommend that if you had the chance to do it, you definitely try to do that yourself. Let's go to the Monica question cam, see if we have anything new.
There is nothing new in queue right now. Scott Hampton did say thanks for all the info tonight, but no other questions at this time.
Right. So do you want to tell an exciting story?
I don't have an exciting story.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, that's awesome. We've got 21 people watching, which is incredible. I'm going to take this moment to let you guys know that, yes, it is Christmas in July on the Hallmark Channel. That's what I'll be watching. But I really, really want to say thank you, all of you, so much for coming and interacting with Monica and I tonight on this live stream. It's been an absolute blessing. I love answering your questions. I love when you bring the tough ones. If there was something I was not able to answer tonight, please do go to FeyrM, F-E-Y-R-E-R-M, on Twitter. Message me directly. I will answer it. You can also go to that same thing on Facebook, and I will answer it. I want to do that for you guys, but always remember that I'm not out to do it for you. I will answer your questions, be as specific as possible. Say, I was doing this, I tried this, I tried this. Do you have any idea what might be causing this problem? Do not say, I cannot connect my OBS to the internet. Can you do it for me? No. No, and I'm going to tell you why. This is a great story for anyone who's just starting out on YouTube, who's looking for help and looking for a mentor and looking for that stuff. Because I've been there. I've been doing this for a long time, and when I started out, I didn't know anything. I did not know a single thing. I'd never created a video. I'd never edited a video. I never created my own music. The beginning of this broadcast starts with music that I created. It might not be good, but it's mine. So I had to learn to do all those things because I'm cheap and I wanted to know how to do them. But let's say that you're the guy who's driving down the street, you're late for work, you've got to get there, and you get a flat tire and you end up on the side of the highway, and you're like, damn it, why is this happening? And this sucks. Why did this? It just nothing ever goes right, and nobody's stopping to help me, and what the heck is going on, and my life sucks. And then you got guy number 2 who's on the highway, and he's late for a meeting, and he's trying to get to work, and it's a really hot day out, and he gets a flat tire, and the first thing is like, why is this always happening to me? What's going on? And why is this just can't happen, and it's so hot outside? And then you know what he does? He gets out of his car, and he starts to push it down the road. And next thing you know, 2 people stop and they come up and they get behind his car and they help him push it. And by the time he gets to the shop where he's going to get his car repaired, there's like 6 or 8 people pushing his car. And you know why that is? Because people want to help people who are helping themselves. So always keep that in mind. I love that you guys ask questions, and I want you to keep asking them because I'm here to help. But just keep in mind that all the answers in the world aren't a substitute for actually doing it. And the more that you do and the more that you work, the more that you're going to have people behind your car pushing you. Believe me, there have been a lot of absolutely amazing mentors that have pushed me. But that's because they saw that I was willing to do the work and I wasn't going to stop until I got what I wanted. And you can be that same guy. So please don't stop trying to get what you want. I really think that anyone can do this. All it takes is the motivation to want to learn, ask the questions, but put in the work, and it'll pay off. I promise you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this hour and a half. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I love it. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Do me a big favor. You're only getting one. What is this? The 18th of July? You're getting one. You might not get an 18th of July in 2021. Who knows where any of us will be? So make sure that you take each day to try to do something special for somebody else, something that makes your day memorable, because life is more special when you create a memory every single day, and that's what I try to do. That's what I like to pass on to you. I hope that you will do that. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day from Monica, the amazing sandwich maker, and myself. Love you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next Saturday night.